Hey everybody, welcome to SNATM. That is SSN at the movies. I am one of your hosts, Justin Larcher, and at the bottom here you do see Tom Vogel with me as well. Hello Tom, how are you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. It's a good Sunday.
It is over here it's a little bit cloudy, but it's got nice weather. It's not bad. We were just chuckling while we were going live about what the new movie we're going to review next week and the trap that we put ourselves in without thinking about it
Yeah.
for the content that we're going to be watching for the next little bit. But for now, guys, we are here to talk about the, I guess, cult classic at this point. I think it's safe to say cult classic. That is Super Mario Bros. Released in 1993. Oh my god, this film is a special one, and we'll get through the details about some of the reasons why I call it special. But right now, right away, Mr. Tom Vogel, what are your thoughts after watching this film, and how long has it been since the last time you watched it?
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So this is basically like a new viewing.
Okay.
And I liked it. I wouldn't consider it a Mario Brothers movie. An Elseworlds Mario movie.
Right,
That's
yeah.
what this was.
Yeah.
If it was completely out of the universe, taken directly out of context, that's what you got with this movie.
It's
but I enjoyed it. It was good.
What you're saying there, it's like this is the the old 80s like fucking animation Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
This is the Heavy Metal Super Mario edition.
Kinda, yeah.
Like
a little softer than Heavy Metal.
not as many boobs.
Could you imagine? Well, actually, that's part of that was part of the directing and writing process of that, because they wanted to make it a Heavy Metal movie, but no.
But yeah, same here. It has been, oddly enough, yeah, I have not seen this film, I think, since I was a wee little fat kid. But somehow, I guess this film made such an impression on my dumb young mind that everything that I was seeing, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, and this part happens, and he says this, and this is what happens. This is what happens with Koopa. I thought this scene kept. Oh no, there's that scene I was just thinking about. Apparently, this is stuck in my brain. Like, I can't let this leave. It's been laying dormant here for like the last 25 years, because I would have been like 5 years old when I came. But then the moment the movie started, I'm like, oh my god, I remember all of this.
Yeah, as I was watching it, I'm like, oh yeah. It didn't look right at the very start, but as the movie went on, I remembered every little bit of it.
Okay. All right. Before we go into like what we honestly thought about the movie, let's go over some key movie details here. So, Super Mario Bros. Was released on May 28th, 1983. That is my oldest's birthday. Is May 28th, excuse me. I don't know if I said May 18th. May 28th is what I meant. And yeah, that's I now have a reason to hate my son on that day. Thank you, Nintendo. It had a budget of $48 million, and it was directed by relatively newcomers. Really, I looked at their IMDb. They have not made anything else of significant. Annabelle Jenkel and Rocky Morton. It is written by, I don't really care. I could say it wasn't written at some points. And I'll explain why later. But the music was done by one of my favorite composers of all time, Alan Silvestri, who, if you guys don't know, made the score for Back to the Future 1 and 3, for Avengers, Predator, and The Mummy Returns, just to name a few.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
awesome.
Alan Silvestri is literally one of my favorite composers. Like, I have some of his stuff on Spotify to just sit down and chill, and like his Predator stuff is so iconic that you just hear the first beginning bars and you know exactly what film you're watching. Like, it's that quick, right? It's kind of the same thing with Back to the Future. When you hear the chimes going like da 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 da, you know right away, oh, this is Back to the Future. Like, there's no way around it. I love it. I absolutely love it. But it is starring what I would honestly say is except for one of them, like Academy Award winning, like Oscar worthy performers, okay? And you'll see why. One of them being the goddamn man, Bob motherfucking Hoskins. Okay.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. One of the best fucking talents out there in the world, because he was an Englishman who could pull any accent he wanted, didn't matter where they were from, and every role that he had, including this one, made it more believable. Because God damn, I love him so much.
He was like the shining star of this movie. He was excellent as Mario.
Yes. And just to let you know, he was Bob Hoskins. If you don't know who he is, just to give you a couple ideas. He was the main lead in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, another fucking classic of a movie. He was Smee, Mr. Smee in Hook. And then I can't remember the character's name, but he was also in the movie Unleashed with Jet Li, which is actually not that bad of a film. It's kind of fucked up when it's like basically about human trafficking, but it's a pretty good movie. I would recommend it.
Yeah, it was.
It also is starring the least known actor, I guess you could say, in this bunch, but still great. I fucking love him. Motherfucking John Leguizamo. Okay,
hell yeah,
the man who a Spanish man portraying an Italian man with a Brooklyn accent. Like you just can't get any better than that. Like
not necessarily. They fixed that.
Okay, all right.
That's why this is an Elseworlds Mario movie.
Okay, all right. But yeah, if you're unsure for this man, he's been in quite a few things. I picked up 2 of them that I'm sure you will remember him from, and 2 of them from like Mom and I's past. All right, when we were kids. All right, so John Leguizamo also starred in The Pest, Lep. He was the Annihilator, the Exterminator, whatever his name is, in Spawn. He's the clown. He is the car mechanic in John Wick. And he's the sloth in Ice Age.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's the goddamn... Yeah, the man has a career, like, you know what I mean? And, like, also, unfortunately, he was in The Happening. Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that fucking movie existed. And now I wish I did again. Why did you do this to me, Larcher?
Let's, we may have to watch that movie down the road then.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, we'll do an M. Night Shyamalan fucking series in review there. All right. Also, another really great actor. Dennis Hopper is in this film. He plays Koopa, King Koopa. President Koopa, I guess technically in this world. And I don't know why, but sure. He was also in the film Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the wild one, where Tobe Hooper really went nuts with this stuff. It's absolutely great. He was also in Speed, starring with Keanu Reeves. Awesome. This guy plays the villain very well. One of the other standouts is his portrayal of Koopa in this film, and how he acts with like a germaphobe and everything. It's awesome. But also in Waterworld and Blue Velvet.
Yeah. The rest Waterworld, that's an underrated movie. We should watch that movie.
You know, do you have 2.5 hours?
Yeah, for that, yes. I love that movie.
All right. Which is funny because Waterworld was considered for a while one of the longest and overly budgeted films of all time. I remember that. But yeah, we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, it's we got a couple of fun facts I want to bring up right off the beginning. And if you ended by, if you remember this film, you will remember that it makes sense when you see Bob Hoskins. But right away, the film, one of the stars, John Leguizamo, in his 2007 autobiography, he stated that Bob Hoskins hated work on the film so much that he would frequently get drunk to make it through the experience. Okay,
both him and John Leguizamo would get drunk on break.
Yeah.
And during filming, because it was such a terrible experience filming this movie.
Exactly.
It was supposed to be shot for 5 weeks. It ended up being 17 weeks.
Oh my!
It directly over budget.
Yeah. And the original story, we'll talk about that. But it's he hated the fucking filming this so much that in a 2011 interview, Bob Hoskins with The Guardian had told him it was such a fucking nightmare. The whole experience was a nightmare. It had a husband and wife team directing whose arrogance had been mistaken for talent. After 2 weeks of after so many weeks, their own agent told them to get off the set. Fucking nightmare, fucking idiots. Bob Hoskins. Like, wow, this man really did not like working on that fucking thing. But
it changed hands so many
Yep,
times.
yep.
Like you had so much people. Like the first screenplay was written by Barry Marrow, who wrote Rain Man, but it was considered too much of a serious drama piece and not the fun comedy it was supposed to be. But I guess in production they called it Drain Man.
That's amazing. Oh my
I love
god.
it.
And that's one of
But
the
like Disney purchased the rights for it,
okay.
and they demanded rewrites. Everything in this was just done terribly.
Well, apparently when the talent and the directors and everyone signed on initially, it was more based off of I think closer to the original script, which was a lot more which was more focused on like the family dynamic between Mario and Luigi, and like completely apparently different film altogether.
It's supposed to be like an odyssey and a quest. That's what they made it out. So it was supposed to actually be like Mario, not
right
whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And like it's when the film came out, it was critically and financially panned. Its budget, unfortunately, so the budget was $48 million. They made a box office of $38.9 million, and it's because of the flop of this film that Nintendo stopped all ideas or agreements on doing any live action films. I guess during this time too, there was rumored that they were in pre-production for a Metroid film, and they just dropped it after the flop that is this. And it's only been really recently within the last few years, maybe within this like half a decade, where Nintendo has been more open to sharing their franchises, their IPs with actual companies. Because if I'm not mistaken, right now there was rumored that Netflix was going to do a animated Legend of Zelda story, and I believe they're working on a live action right now. Either live action or a 3D, I think it's 3D film for Super Mario Bros. And it's from the studio that did the Minions and Despicable Me. But like that's how long it took them, like 30 fucking years to finally open up again and trust other companies. Like that's insane, all because of this film.
Well, the only other game property that was made into a live action film was Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That's
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good. I like that one. That one's
I haven't seen it.
Honestly, it's not that bad, and I would say that since we realize that we're doing video game franchises to kill ourselves, this Detective Pikachu could be you could consider that it's a game franchise. It's Pokemon. Yeah. We could sit down and review that one.
Yeah, good idea.
Fucking all right. Now, ultimately, Tom, your thoughts on the film? How much did you enjoy it? Was there a standout? Was there something there that caught your eye before we go through like the walkthrough of the movie?
The visual effects were done quite well,
and again,
that was the biggest point of it.
A 93
and
movie.
1993. We can't use the argument that I used with Annihilation.
Yeah, that was released in 98.
Yeah.
Because, like, again,
I don't know what the fuck Annihilation did now. This was considerably fucking better.
Honestly, I think what it is, it's that, it's the difference between, honestly, the team that worked on this cared. You know what I mean? Annihilation literally felt like just a cash grab. That's all that was. Yeah. This one, like, even though the final product of the film might not be the best, there was talent. The production design I really enjoyed. The sets, the ideas that they had, like also like we said, the graphics are actually really they're well done. The music's amazing. Like it's great. It's all of it's great. Yeah. But overall, this movie is not a Super Mario Brothers movie, like you said.
No.
This could have been some kind of fantasy film, and it could have just starred two brothers who are at ends with each other, and it would have been fine. And that could have been a whole different movie. But it literally feels like this script, before I found out all the stuff that you have mentioned, it felt like this script literally belonged to a completely different story. And then, the Nintendo's like, we want to make a film. Like, oh, fuck, what? Yeah, here you go. Just take this shit. Don't worry about it. And that's what
we got money from Nintendo to make this one. Here we go. Let's just shoehorn our storyline into it.
Right. Because literally, if you take out the names of the characters, and the one iconic scene where they have the suits and get rid of the Bob-omb, This is this could be any other film you'd ever want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn.
Absolutely.
All right. It's time to go over the story of the Super Mario Bros. And it starts with a fucking cock tease. Because at the beginning of this film, Tom, we hear the classic da 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 da. And you're thinking, all right, these guys get it. They know what's going to be all about. There's nothing about all. No, this is not at all what we want. All right, it is hot garbo, but in a good way, but also in a bad way. We'll see. It literally, this film literally fucking starts with a cinematic of it trying to be 8-bit, intro. And it's this Jersey accent and Brooklyn motherfucker who's talking about the dinosaurs and how a meteorite destroyed the Earth. Or not, sorry, killed all the dinosaurs, or did they? Because let's ponder, Tom, the idea that no real science behind it, but let's ponder with the idea that somehow a meteorite split the universe, and we have a parallel world on Earth in the ground.
I believe this is where all of the lizard people conspiracy theories have come from.
They watched
this 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie and said, that makes fucking sense. Yeah. Maybe there are people that are lizards.
They thought they were watching a documentary. Oh my god, it makes so much more
Someone
sense.
Showed it during grade school.
Oh my god. But yeah, the weirdness doesn't end there, all right? So they're supposing that there are two separate worlds, which you might think is, it's like the Mario world, the Mushroom Kingdom, and our world. We'll get to there, because now we get to see a woman running down the fucking street, panicking, trying to figure out what to do, and at a nunnery, a church of some sort, which I guess in the States, Schmucks, you gotta help me out. Is that a thing where you can just drop babies off at a church and then they raise the kid? Is that a thing? Is she technically a nun in training? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. This lady who's dressed ever so strangely drops off the kid and then makes a turn towards a tunnel, and you meet up with pretty much what looks like, the don't let this happen to your daughter ever moments where a creepy man comes out from the shadows and just kind of gropes you. It baffles my mind. Because we then find out that this man, I'm pretty sure it's at this moment where you actually find out it's Koopa, and he's in our world. So it's maybe there's not another dimension. Maybe they somehow find themselves in the thing, in the Mushroom Kingdom. No, we don't worry about it for now. What does end up by happening is you find out the thing that the mom dropped off is a fucking egg. A goddamn egg, which births a human baby. Okay?
Those nuts would have tossed it out in the street in
right?
2 seconds
right?
for being an abomination.
Oh my god. And it's right there when I'm like, what am I? Is that Mario? What is going on right now? But it doesn't matter. We then move on to present day, which is actually our past, where we meet up with these two clearly plumbers, and you know that they're plumbers because there are a set of plungers in different sizes hung up on the wall like it's a fucking gun rack. What is happening? Whatever. Fucking, you find out that the people that you're in, the apartment that you're in belongs to none other than Luigi and Mario, the plumbers. I don't know if they're actually Italian. Tom, is this a hideaway or hidden thing? Do you have any notes about this?
Well, for one, it's Mario and Luigi Mario.
Yes. Yeah.
In case you forgot.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the source of, which is now, I guess, considered canon, that the Mario brothers, their last name is fucking Mario, and Luigi Mario. How many Marios does that make? 3. Oh, God. So dumb. But you find out these guys are struggling fucking plumbers in Brooklyn, and they're looking for jobs, and they get a phone call about a destroyed or a running dishwasher, which starts like one of the craziest high-speed pursuits you have ever seen. And keep in mind that a lot of these scenes, okay, Mr. Hoskins is drunk, and there are certain scenes where it is fucking obvious. All right?
Yep.
And we'll get to one of those scenes soon. But you end up finding out the reason why they're rushing is because somehow the plumbing industry is such on hot demand that people need things all happening all the time, that there's a rivalry between the Mario Bros. Plumbing services and the Scapali plumbing services, which not only
it's like a huge conglomerate almost,
yes,
I would say.
No, very much so, because you see on the truck that's printed on when they reach their broken dishwasher, which again, that's the emergency. It's a broken dishwasher, okay? It's not like there's leaking everywhere and there's floods. It's just a leaky dishwasher.
It could be. If there was a leaky fitting on the dishwasher, it could be spraying water everywhere.
God. But they arrive not in the nick of time, because you find out that the Scapali plumbing services are beat them to the punch. But it's to show you how much of a conglomerate this is, like as Tom pointed out. They have services, all right, and I don't know if you paid attention to this, literally around the world, Tom. Because
I didn't notice that.
They have, I guess, the Scapali, which is basically their version of an Italian mob, okay? Their areas of work include London, Paris, Hollywood, Brooklyn, and I think one other place, but I cannot remember. But it doesn't matter, because now that you got the idea that these people are everywhere and they're somehow the Illuminati in this game, in this film, and you think that they would have a bigger presence in it. No, you then get cut to basically a news report of a bunch of a man being like, kids are mad, university found bones in Brooklyn. But I thought one of these places were pretty much like a man-made island, and to find dinosaurs there doesn't make like a lot of sense to me. But I digress. That doesn't matter. What does matter is we are introduced to one of the characters who will be acting alongside our lovely leads. Now, Tom, if you had seen this film, for the first time, if you can remember, right, your Mario franchise, you know that they are missing one other really important character in the game, in the film. Who is it when you think in Super Mario Bros?
I would think Peach. You'd think.
Princess Peach, right? That makes sense, right? That's like the main love affair that we all know about of, Bowser cross Peach cross Mario. Like, we all understand that's what we all know. That's where the romance is. That's where all the lovey-dovey shit is. But Tom, you are wrong. Instead, we're gonna bring in Daisy. Why? I don't even
Princess Daisy.
But who hooks up?
What
hooks up with who though?
Luigi?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, that's the idea. All right, it is the idea that these guys are. It's supposed to go up Daisy, Luigi, and Peach and Mario. And it doesn't matter. Basically, you end up finding out this lady is getting threatened by the plumbing services, which again are pretty much the fucking mob in this film, because they want to lay more pipes down or something. They don't really explain what the conflict there is. It's just that this dude is here, and he's also, you find out he's a construction worker guy, and yeah, he wants to do something there, but the university says no, because Daisy found bones, and the bones are theirs. At the same time that this is happening, you're introduced to Iggy and Spike, characters from the Super Mario Bros. Lore, who are supposed to be the sons and daughters, if I'm not mistaken, of King Koopa, but actually are his cousins. Why? They don't explain it. It doesn't matter. Just one of those.
Why would they? They didn't explain anything else.
Oh, how right you are. But anyways, you end up with Luigi and fucking Daisy meet up with each other, and it's love at first sight, where like fucking Luigi can't talk properly, and he's all mumbling his words, and he's all like, "Ooh, I like you. It's nice to meet me," that kind of shit. And it's right around here, I believe it's when they give her a lift back over to the dig site, where you fucking see what I can only describe as either like creepy guy in a trench coat Parkway Bob Hoskins or super drunk Bob Hoskins. I'm gonna hope that it's the one that it's the latter, not the former, because as Luigi's trying to ask Daisy out on a date, you have Bob Hoskins hovering over Luigi's shoulder, telling him what he's telling Daisy what Luigi's trying to say, but then he like lowers himself and he goes, like he looks like he wants a piece of meat, you know what I mean? And that meat's name is Daisy. But he's clearly
just trying to help his shy brother out. That's all.
Oh my Tom, this guy was so fucking drunk there.
Well, yeah, but it made it more fun. He was
Yes.
more fluid. He
Yes.
got the Brooklyn accent a little better because of that little drunkenness.
Yeah. But you find out that Iggy and Spike are kidnapping a bunch of women around Brooklyn, specifically Brooklyn, because they need to find the princess, who you then find out is Daisy later down the road, and get them to do something. So they've been stealing a bunch of people because they don't know what Daisy looks like, trying to find the right one. And then to help prove in the story that the Super Mario Bros are in fact Italian, the date that Luigi took Daisy on was in an Italian restaurant. And you all know how we know this? Because there's the checkerboard, black, like red and white tablecloth, candlelit dinner, spaghetti everywhere. There's so much spaghetti. Oh my God, it's insane. Like fucking Christ. There's like the Italian version of mariachi band on stage playing stuff. Like it's everywhere. You know what I mean? You just can't escape this. And anyways,
the Italian version of mariachi. What the fuck?
I don't know what would you call it in mariachi band in Italian?
Musicians?
No, that's English. I want the Italian.
Next time you listen to Nickelback, I love this white people version of mariachis. They're so good.
Oh my God. Look, it was just, complicated. All right, it's complicated. Anyways, don't fucking matter. Daisy and fucking Luigi hit it off. You find out that she was left at the altar because, surprise, that's who she is. All right, not the altar, but the nun altar, whatever you want to call it. And she was born and raised to become a nun, and she ran away because she just loves dick so much or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
And this is where we have the John Leguizamo retcon, because he says he was found too by Mario, so he could be Hispanic.
Okay,
yet still be Mario's brother.
Okay, see, I think I misread that because I thought it was that saying. I thought he said that. Oh, like I didn't know my parents either because my brother raised me. I thought that's what it was. But if you're telling me
he said he found me.
Oh my God. Okay.
So it works. They made it work.
Sure. Yeah. You know what? And it's underneath. It's it's subtle. It's not in your face like everything else in this film. I'll take it.
Yeah, and the only thing they had to get right about Luigi was he had to be a dumbass, and John Leguizamo nailed it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not an insult to him either. Like, the man knows how to play the character, right? Like, he plays the goofball very, very well. Man, fucking Luigi and Daisy take a little stroll down Brooklyn, not getting mugged once or attacked or stabbed, so you know it's not real. It's a set. And they fucking go strolling back to the dig site, so then Daisy could show him her bone, right? Give him a big old boner, if you know what I mean, right? Just fucking bone. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
We don't know what that means anymore after the WandaVision boner jokes.
Right? But you didn't find out that the fucking Scapellis, the drug lords of the Mario world, have fucking sabotaged the dig site by breaking some pipes. And it's fucking Mario time, baby. Let's go. Mario Bros. Are going out in full force. Go ahead and fix the pipes, which apparently doesn't take much. It's just a couple of literal loose bolts, from what we can tell.
It doesn't take much, but they did everything fucking wrong here.
Yes,
as someone who works on this piping often, they got everything wrong. 1 1/16 wrench was the only thing they had right, but he was just rubbing the tools on a pipe. He wasn't even on a nut. He just, okay, ting, ting, ting. Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah. Oh my God! And during this time, that's amazing. That I didn't even think about that. This is stuff that you normally would work with. So if you saw those pipelines, you'd be like, "What are they doing? What is this?"
Just rubbing it. Ooh, you like that pipe, eh? Stop squirting for me.
But you find out that fucking Spike and Iggy ended up by stealing or kidnapping, excuse me, Mario's girl in the movie, whose name's not Peach. It's Dana or something. I don't know.
It's Daniela Pauline Verducci, and Paulina Verducci is in the Mario games.
She is. Yeah, she's the one who gets kidnapped by Donkey Kong. You're right.
That's right.
So this is this is before he meets Peach. Then before he's a real Super Mario.
That's before he gets trapped in Koopa Land and has to resort to their women.
But yeah, it's they fucking solve it, and then somehow, because reasons we still don't know yet, fucking Iggy and Spike are they're in the tunnels looking for their way back, but they stumble upon Daisy and decide to abduct Daisy. And that's pretty much what happens there. Fucking they take Daisy, then Mario and Luigi fucking chase after them baddies, bad boys. Yeah, next to a fucking stone wall, which I don't that has a ravine, by the way. This place has a fucking ravine, right? They don't explain it, they don't whatever. It's Brooklyn, don't worry about it. Okay, cool. Fucking they end up like jumping into a wall because they see Daisy go through it, and this is again, to what Tom was saying, some pretty decent fucking special effects for 1993.
Yep. Yeah, they did a very good job.
Like it's to the point where like I would say it's kind of close to fucking Jurassic Park kind of levels of like they did it the right way, right? A lot of the animation for the CGI is done in dark lit areas, so it's all good.
And I think they were the first one to use like post-production scanning of frames so that they could add all this stuff. I think there was Autodesk Flame or something that they used.
Holy shit, that's insane, right?
One of the new industry standard anyway. So they're kind of the first.
Yeah, they were pioneering
to do a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's something you don't.
That's why it costs so damn much,
right? And they went over budget for it. But they get thrown into the Mushroom Kingdom, but they're not in the Mushroom Kingdom. They're in a place called Dinotopia or Dino-hatton. No, Manhattan, but with dinosaurs. Why couldn't they call this Mushroom Kingdom? I don't know. They make reference of it all the time in the movie, but sure, whatever. And you also find out that
those sunny blue skies.
Yeah, it's just this orange fungal, like bad looking stuff, and it's also you find out that Dino-hatton is the only living nourishable thing in this fucking movie. Like you see a scene once later down the road where Koopa flaps the globe around, and there's only one city on it, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I understand. I can get why you don't want to be here right now. Oh god, it's weird.
But at the same time, like clean up. The
right?
place looks like a fucking mess.
Right? And it makes me think that if this was before, if like when King Koopa wasn't in charge and it was the Mushroom Kingdom guys, did this place still look like this?
I don't know. Like obviously the fungus wouldn't be there, but it looks like they just had like it was the war of silly strings,
right?
That just ravaged this place because that's what it looks like everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking strange. But you find out that these places are worse than the people in Brooklyn and Manhattan. These guys were savages. They're there's a fucking scene in this where they focus on a movie theater, but and remember this is a kids film, but it's a porno movie theater, and it was one of the fucking titles of the movies was I was a teenage mammal XXX. And oh my god, I saw
direct pan too, like paused on it for a second so you could read it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And like you start getting introduced to these fucking hideous fruit monsters in this place, where like people kind of have like disfigurements or like lizard like looks, appearances, and you get introduced to finally a giant fucking like 7 foot tall freak of a man with a small ass head, and I think to myself, wait, this isn't Koopa. That doesn't make any sense. Nope. Because you then get introduced to the real Koopa, who is this, not a king, but he's a president of Dino-hatton, going in for re-election, as far as we could tell, and also like a huge fucking germaphobe. And I don't know if this was written as for the character, if this was like a Dennis Hopper choice, but I love it. It is so weird. Oh my god.
Especially in that dirty world, he's this germaphobe. Right? But like he says later in the film, the mud's like clean, but Still kind of dirty or something like that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know what I love about mud? It's so dirty, clean at the same time, or something like that. Like, so
yeah, that's probably closer.
Yeah, and it's like, it's this moment of like, okay, this is weird. He's not a giant lizard monster thing like a dragon turtle. No, he's something completely. He's just a dude with really weird hair, like very unique hair.
Reptilian.
Yes, yeah, because yes, you know what? I didn't even think about that until just now. That makes so much more sense. But yeah, you get it. You find out that fucking Iggy and Spike had this one mission to go ahead and find, the people. They go and they report over to Koopa saying they did it, but she doesn't have the rock. Who has the rock? Well, we find out that the Mario Bros do, obviously, because you saw that little meteorite piece. So there's a fucking worldwide search. Plumbers, specifically. Yes.
Plumbers. And then they sounded the plumber alert. Because apparently they fucking hate plumbers here.
Right? There's a siren. If you're a plumber, like you dip your head.
Maybe your city and world would be a little bit more fun if you didn't have clogged toilets and clogged drains all over the fucking place.
It explains why the floors.
You
are
allow
so
the
filthy.
Plumbers in. Yeah, and let the plumbers in and make it get a little more clean. Then it might be more fun.
And there's a moment. There's one of my favorite scenes in this film that comes up where like Mario and Luigi are trying to find their way around, and they get introduced to an old lady who's just like, "You better be careful, boys. This place is dangerous if you don't have a weapon. Do you have a weapon?" And then they're like, "No." He's like, "Ah, that's too bad for you bitches." And she pulls out a fucking cattle prod, like the ones that shock the bulls when they don't got them to move and shit. And shocks fucking Mario, and then somehow very slowly steals a necklace from them, because the shocker thing didn't really hurt Mario that much, and they could have fought her at any point. She's an old ass fucking lady, but they don't, and she steals the necklace, which then gets stolen by a character whose name is Big Bertha. I just want to point that out. Who tosses Granny into a car, who then decides to shock people and. Oh my god, it's so weird. She fucking Big Bertha throws her off the ledge, falls into a car. When she lands, instead of being like, "Oh, thanks for catching me," decides to shock the dudes, which then causes a giant car crash pileup thing. And it's just, it literally melted my brain, Tom, watching this, because I'm like, what does any of this have to do with Super Mario besides the two guys, their names right now? I just don't understand.
It just shows how cutthroat this world is.
Oh my god, dude, it hurts.
Mainly.
It fucking hurts.
I just love watching Big Bertha throw an old lady off a balcony. How awesome is that? Can we get that in more movies?
Oh man. But yeah, she steals the necklace and walks away because she has things that let her like do the super jump. Because we need to explain the super jump in this movie. This is how they do it in the games. But yeah, they fucking stumble around the Mario Bros, not allowed losing Daisy and the necklace, and they have nothing left. And they get introduced to a hippie playing a guitar who has no resemblance to who I'm about to mention, except for maybe the shaving on his head. Gets wrestled up by the cops because he is slandering Koopa and his good name. And it's just, oh my god, dude, his name's Toad, by the way. It's fucking Toad. Yeah. Somehow, the guy who guides them and helps them out in the world, in the games, is just some hippie playing a really shitty guitar. Which, by the way, there was a different script, obviously, before, that had Toad almost immediately in the film. It's kind of like the Odyssey thing that you were talking about, Tom. And, like, he was going to help them get to their destination, just like in the fucking games. But it was also nothing like this, that script, apparently. Oh, my God, dude.
So did they call him Toad because that's his name? Like, yes. They knew him already? Or is he called Toad because he's one of the Toads? Like the lesser being, maybe?
I don't know if I can do that right now!
With Mario?
Hey, Mario! Yeah, oh my god, dude. They keep referring to him as Toad, so this is how they get Toad in here, I guess. It's the only, whatever.
I guess.
But yeah, they get arrested, and the Mario Bros also get taken up because they have the belt on them. Of course, they must be plumbers. Yes, that's how you could tell. But anyways, they get brought up to the police station, where there's a dude getting a foot massage. And I mean, the man is having a foot pushed on him with the heel grinding against their shoulder from a hooker. I just don't understand. Whatever. This is where you get the names where they're like, your name's Mario. Last name, Mario. Okay, what's your name? Luigi. Last name, Mario. He's like, let me get this straight. Your name's Mario, and Luigi Mario. He's like, yeah, you got a problem with that? And then the guy goes, how many Marios are there? Well, there's 3. There's Mario, Luigi Mario. And then they send them, that's the joke, all right? That's what happens. And
I liked it.
It was goofy, and I guess it answers a question that no one ever had, which was, what are the Mario Brothers' last names? But it's in the title. It's just a weird concept. They have a fun little scene here that I like. That's afterwards when the cops take them away, when they get processed, so they get like their balls get sprayed with nitroglycerin. They get washed with Listerine on the body, and they get sent to what looks like a firing range. And it's a fun little thing. I don't know why this one always amused me. And it ends up being where these guns come out to shoot them with a laser on their forehead. They're just getting their pictures taken. That's all it is. But they also add a certain scene here, Tom, and I love it so much because to show you that it's like a steampunk world and everything's going off crazy. Anything that moves shoots electricity. Like sparks are always coming out of it. So like,
oh yeah,
whether it's a bike, a skyjack, the cop cars, any car, there's always
a fucking dump truck later in the movie.
Truck.
The whole box is sparking. Like, what? There's not even anything up there. That's just metal.
Oh my god, I love it. That's how you can tell that they're in a uncivilized world, and it's kind of steampunkish. Anyways, these guys get fucking put into the kennels that you would normally put your dog in when you leave them for the weekend, and they miss you, but you don't care. That's what it looks like is going on with the Mario Brothers here. Okay? And then they get taken out because their lawyer is coming by to free them. Their lawyer.
I love this scene.
Yeah. It's this moment where, the lawyer is actually Koopa, and he knows that the plumbers are there, and they have the rock, so he's trying to figure out how to get it from them. Right? And
I love his name.
Larry Lazard. He comes in,
hi. Hi, I'm Larry Lazard of Blazard, Lazard, Conda, and Cohen.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So well done.
Yeah. Like, and then he's trying to like, you're like, oh guys, you're in big trouble. Well, I can get you out of this. All you got to do is help me out. And they're like, the Mario Brothers are just sitting there like, okay, well, we want to talk to this Koopa clown. Yeah, this piece of shit Koopa. He's terrible. Oh my god, he's a buffoon. Like, yeah, Scapelli, fucking Linguini. They're like, really, Bob Hoskins kind of lost it at that point because he really started going to the generic, almost kind of racially insensitive Italian types there. But anyways, they try to get information out of the lawyer about King Koopa. He gives it to them because he is King Koopa. And he's like, look, guys, this is how we save you. Give me the stone. So right away, the bros are like, oh, well, clearly, how would this man know about this shit? We're not going to trust him right away. And then Koopa fucking just lunges at Luigi. And like, in a moment of the mountain with the dude from Game of Thrones, he starts gouging Luigi's eyes out. Remember, this is a kid's film, okay? This is a kid's film. Oh, dear Lord. Obviously not getting what he wants. He decides to punish these mammals by fucking sending them to the Devo chamber. Where they quickly explain, because, if you're a kid and dumb, you're not going to understand it. That the Devo chamber is pretty much a giant ray gun that will devolve you to your most basic form. So, if you're human, it's like primates. If you're, these guys here, you're lizards or you're a fungus. If you're the king, and I don't...
Well, the king of Mushroom Kingdom turns into a fungus if you go all the way back.
Okay, all right. So here's my thing with that, okay? Why is it... I'm not going to go into the one thing I want to talk about. But I'm going to say this. I don't understand that is his most primeval form. Does that mean that Daisy's also just a giant walking fungus?
She would just turn into a flower.
Oh my god!
But really, at their basic form, the Goombas wouldn't be the same either. They would go down to a single cell organism or something.
Right. It's you know, I'm asking a lot out of a kids movie from '93, which I'm sorry. I guess I'm as an adult I expect a little bit more. But you
Quotations,
find out,
air quotes on kid movie.
yes, again, yeah, yes. You then find out that this fucking guy, this chamber for a lot of the citizens of this world will transform their citizens after being de-evolved too long into Goombas. And you're seeing like, oh, you mean the little brown dudes, little mushroom guys? Oh, that's kind of cool. They're gonna be funguses walking around. No, it turns into a hideous fucking freak thing that you would see in a Tim Burton movie like Beetlejuice. It's not only does this freak of nature machine fucking shakes a guy's dude's head down to like a fucking little tiki head, but also it's just a reptile face on like a 7-foot tall body with two of me to make its shoulders. You know what I mean? This thing is huge. That's the de-evolution. It makes their head
smaller, but their body's bigger at the same time.
Oh my god, dude! It is terrifying. Okay.
Yeah.
And these little gremlin freak things, I don't. Oh my god, this is something you would see in a horror movie, right? Like, you know, it would be like the little critters, the movie Critters. It'd just be a ball with feet with that face coming at you. All right. Whatever. All that happens here is they get to the Devo chamber. You see that Toad turns into one of those things. So he's actually a Goomba. And to let you know throughout the rest of the film, when you see this guy, they give him back his harmonica. Why?
So you know it's him. That's all.
For plot reasons down the road. Yes. It continues to the point where, fun fact, when they get brought up to the chamber and they see what happens to Toad, the Mario brothers break free, right? So Mario punches the dude in the face, and then Luigi goes to the guy who's controlling the Devo chamber gun thing, and I had to go back and watch it a couple of times, because to me it looks like all he did was pelvic thrust onto him, and the dude went, oh, and fell. And I'm like, that can't be right. After, about 10 rewatches of that one specific scene, John Leguizamo is just too close to the actor and very gently lifts his knee up to, like, hit him in the nuts. Because they were, like, literally, it was Dick City. It was just dick on dick. That's all it was. That's how close they were to each other.
Tip combat, man.
But, again, it's this moment of, like, okay, that's whatever. This is, like, your real first action scene now. And I noticed something on the floor, and I didn't understand why. So Mario slips the cop that he punches in the face by tripping him on slime that's all over the floor. I guess there was a cutout scene that had Koopa punishing one of the techs, like the guy with the ray gun thing, the Devo chamber gun, sends him into the thing and de-evolves him to the point where he just becomes goop, slime, your single cell organisms. And then rewatching the scene, I'm like, oh yeah, there's slime on the ground. What the fuck's going on here? Like, what is happening? And that's what it is that scene that got cut out, ended. But then this is the continuation of that scene, because there's goop on the floor that the Mario Bros used to slip and trip the security guard, knock him out, and then push Koopa into the Devo chamber as well. He goes up there for a split second. He kind of devolves, sort of. I guess he was only there for like 0.5 of a second. And then his eye has a reptilian thing that happens, like an Animorphs. And I'm just like, okay, is it that he's gonna slowly, as time progresses, start getting more and more Bowser-like? Like he's gonna get like a big skull and a shell, like something like that would add like, well, like this is kind of freaky. No, it doesn't matter. None. This doesn't change the way that he thinks. It doesn't change the way that he acts. Nothing. This scene that showed the little dinosaur eye meant nothing. It was just
there were slight references to the fact that something changed him later, but they weren't enough to make the movie any different.
Right? And then if
you left this scene out, it wouldn't have changed a damn thing.
No, not a goddamn thing. You then also find out that Koopa didn't come from a giant shell dragon thing for his ancestors. No, he's a T-Rex, the king of the dinosaurs, because Bowser's a dinosaur now. Sure. Whatever.
Well, how do you explain that to kids? Is there an actual name for what Bowser came from?
You could just
Maybe?
say, literally, you could be like, like we're so old we don't have a name. We forgot what we're called.
Fair
Something.
enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking the bros leave and then they hide behind a fucking goo wall that literally looks like someone fucking snotted all over it. And this is what Tom was referencing to, is that this whole place is just covered in this silly string, putty ass, like goosebumps. I'm sorry. I was trying to say Game Grumps and Goosebumps, and it just fucked me up. Game fucking. Oh my god. What are the goo? The goo is everywhere. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. My words, they're failing me now. And then yeah, they have like this. The security guards have this like fucking weapon that is basically a fireball shooter, and that's in kind of in a tongue-in-cheek a reference to the game, because like you'd have the fireballs that would just appear out of nowhere sometimes when you're in Bowser's Castle or whatever.
So really, there were guys in holes in the wall just shooting them out at you.
Just doom, doom, doom. But yeah, the fucking bros get out.
Oh no, my pacing isn't the same.
Right? Oh shit! Oh, Bowser's gonna fire me for sure. Like, god damn it. But it's this whole weird ass thing. But they land from what looked like, a 20-foot, 30-foot drop, which I think would have killed or at least broken some bones, because humans are not that powerful. But for no real explanation at all, when they decide, like when they leave, they decide to get into a cop car, and John Leguizamo jumps onto the system to look at the computer system the cops have. Fun fact: those are real. Like, cops have that in their cars. That's how they do their research nowadays. But more importantly, the loading screen is the little question blocks that you can hit in the world. But it's not a block, it's a rectangle. They couldn't even get a fucking square to appear properly in this thing. Whatever. I don't know why that bothered me so much when I saw that, but I did. But you then get kind of like this. Honestly, Tom, I don't know how you felt about it, but I like the little car chase scene they had in this part. It wasn't bad.
Holy fucking pyro.
Right?
They must have spent their entire budget on pyro for this fucking scene.
Oh, I guarantee.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Like, I guarantee you, like, this is one of the reasons why they went over budget. Because, like, there are some, it doesn't happen all the time, but there are some pretty elaborate action scenes in this film, right? Yeah, and like what Tom is saying, there's just unnecessary fires everywhere, sparks, again, flying off of everything. Anything that runs on whatever has fucking sparks coming out of it. And you can fucking get a scene where there's so much pileup and explosions. It's just, you're like, there's no way people have lived this. Like, people are dead. Like, you have done this. But more importantly, there's a scene during this chase sequence where the car somehow gets lodged on top of another car, and the driver kind of looked like Dave Grohl from Everlong. I don't know if you realize that. If you go back and watch that, yeah, like in his dream sequence in Everlong, when he gets the giants, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl.
There,
yeah,
there.
You see that, and I'm like, oh, god damn, yeah, that's Dave Grohl right there. Doesn't matter. Anyways, there's an unnecessary random scene where a car flies in the air and then crashes, not caused by anyone or anything. It just happens.
It's
like,
just behind them.
Yeah.
Watching the chaos was enough to make it take a jump in the air.
Like, I can't take this anymore. It's just too awesome. But yeah, those fireballs.
I want to be part of the fun.
Right? Oh my god. And then fucking in the scene, the fireball shooting guns now are no longer shooting fireballs because they're right next to like both the left and right side of Mario and Luigi. Instead, they're just shooting flames, and they're shooting at like, from left to right of Mario. So they decide to hit the brakes. Flames go through each other, which then causes them to crash, which then causes other things to fall down, which then causes what I can only describe as a Power Rangers level of fucking pyro and explosions. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit.
I was impressed. And you just see them just driving away from it, backs to the fire.
Right?
Awesome.
Like, cool guys don't look at explosions, right?
That's right.
Oh my god. So during their escape from the Koopas, they end up by going down a tunnel which is full of fungus. We then find out that it's a tunnel that ends nowhere because they have unfortunately met the edge of the city, I guess, right? because like
Well,
the
that's
world
that.
the world is just that small city, right?
Well, no, it's all dead. The rest of it's
Yeah.
desert. The Kupahari Desert. They even have a
What?
sign with that.
Yep. And I sat there
But
like, oh, maybe.
I think that's supposed to be development. They want to keep developing.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But it's also this moment of when I saw that, I'm like, oh, maybe this was like an ode with to Mario Kart. Then I'm like, I don't know if Mario Kart even came out at that time. On like, I don't know when Super Mario Kart would have been released. So there's one of those moments. I'm like, oh, maybe that's, if it is, that's kind of cool. But there aren't that many real references to the games in this movie, right?
There's a few. Like they've got a lot of the sign. There was a lot of signage that had some different things. Like they had Thromp Stompers and Bullet Bill's Bar, and
Yeah, yeah.
just not too much though.
Yeah, yeah. But you end up finding out that they escape or they survive because the fungus protected them. And now King Koopa is sending both Iggy and Spike out to go find the Mario Brothers. They think they're going to get de-evolved into something, like a Goomba. But turns out that Koopa is actually bringing up their intelligence to, like, far superior than before kind of thing. And yeah, it's just because that's what I'm assuming is what happens. The thing can't make you smarter. All it could do is bring you back to how you are or what you were, right?
No, they had the advanced setting on it.
You're right.
That's
You're
what they
right.
switched it to for these guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they go all super smart now, and their way to show that they're super smart and not confuse the kids is just they say things like indubitably, vis-a-vis, tete on tete. And like just just to make them sound kind of smart. I don't fucking know, dude. It's weird. It was
It worked.
yeah, in a sense, yeah. But then they get them all super smart and tell them to go find the brothers. They take a fucking ATV out, but actually no, there's something before that. You find out that the secretary or the second hand lady for Koopa, Lena, is batshit crazy for Koops and wants him to be, to be to be the ones who rule the world, and like she's in love with them, super obsessed. You start finding out that Koopa needs Daisy because Daisy is the only one that can unlock the key or unlock the door between both worlds so everything starts merging together, because that meteorite is still active. It's just missing that one piece. Lena somehow
did Mortal Kombat steal this plotline?
Well, I mean, what?
It's the same thing,
right? But instead of 10 victories, it's just a simple key. Yeah, no, I see it. But yeah, that's you find out they still don't really tell you why Daisy has to be the one who merges it. You find out in a little bit, but they don't touch on it yet. You just Lena, some reason, just is like a super hostile alpha female, I guess is the best way to describe it. Because she is super threatened by Daisy because the way that fucking Koopa keeps talking to him, talk about him. I mean, but yeah, you get a little couple things here and there. You get a little fucking scene, a little skit of Koopa ordering food, and it's pizza with like lizard tails and pterodactyl wings and like whatever. It just does nothing, right? I'm trying to think from here. Is it that? Oh yeah, you get introduced to Yoshi for the first time, right?
Yeah, cute little Yoshi,
who is basically just a baby T-Rex that hasn't evolved, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean that in this world there are dinosaurs who have dinosaurs for pets?
Well, can they de-evolve anything?
Well, that's my question. Is it like the idea that this thing was a person before? Or is it that somehow they didn't evolve with their counterparts to the human stages that they're in now? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely confusing. Maybe it was one of his servants that he hated, and he's like, "Fuck, I'll just devolve you into a lizard, and you can be my pet on a chain."
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's one of those moments where I
no answers there.
No, there are no answers there. But this is when you find out that Koopa's obsessed with Daisy because she's the one that can open up the gate. She has the power is something that keeps being said. You find out that the reason why he wants out is because fucking Dino Hanton is nothing but a giant cesspool. The Mission Kingdom is no more, and he wants something clean, something that breathes. Because again, he's like a germaphobe, which they never really specifically say. And I respect him for that. Like, Dennis Hopper was able to convey his, I guess his like the character's distaste or phobia of germs just by having him do those certain simple things. Like, it's actually not that bad. Like, he was hamming it up, but he was hamming it up in the right way is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. And his reactions to certain things, like when he was gouging fucking Luigi's eyes out right after he stopped, the police officer went up and like disinfected his hands.
Right? Yeah.
Just like subtle cues to it. They didn't have to make him outright germaphobe.
Yeah. So pretty much you get all that information, and then you get sent out back to the desert where fucking our boys here, Iggy and Spike, have a little like Mad Max Fury Road ATV unit thing. Six-wheeler.
It was an Argo with a steel cage welded on top.
And they're out there.
Good.
I mean, again, it's practical, right? So it looks nice. But they are out there to go catch the Mario Brothers, but more specifically, they have to give a reason why the Mario Brothers get out of the desert, and that's the reason why they're just like that easy Deus Ex Machina. Like, don't worry, everything will work itself out for the protagonists. But they get captured and very easily switch on Koopa and just be like, "Hey, we'll help you. We'll help you get Daisy and the Rock and all that jazz." Just simple as that. So they all ride together to a garbage dump place to not even fully disguise themselves as a fucking, garbage man. They just have the masks on, and that's, I guess, these things, they're not people, right? These garbage people. Like,
I don't know.
Because like they got knocked out super easily, and I just did not understand what I was seeing when that happened at all.
They're allergic to plungers, I believe.
Yeah, because
that's how easily it was taken down.
But I guess also, like, these are guards, right? These are just like your average Joes just going to work, getting assaulted by these aliens.
Could you imagine if those guys are what your garbage collectors look like?
Oh my god! If they
I guess face masks normal now, but
fuck, man. No, but if I saw like these, like what looks like those creatures from like Hellraiser fucking come at me and they're my garbage men, I would be so worried, because if they left me a note being like, "Sort your shit out next time," I'm like, no, yes sir, let's go ahead, we got this. It goes, oh fuck that dude, no way. Oh. But ultimately, it makes me laugh because this scene is it's both Spike and Iggy hiding from the people, when they could have just been the drivers driving that thing and no one would have questioned it, because they work for Koopa. Like, in the story, not everyone knows now that Iggy and Spike have betrayed Koopa.
Yeah.
So like, I don't understand why they're hiding. It just doesn't, whatever. But they sorry, what's that?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, you then find out that when they were trying to describe who has the Rock, the Spike and Iggy, remember that it's the person they're talking about is Big Bertha, and she's a bouncer for a certain club. It's at Bullet Bliss. You said it was
Bullet Bills.
Bullet Bills. Okay.
I don't know. Right. Yeah, maybe that one.
Well, yeah, you never find out that these guys are here, and they have to like find a way. Oh God, sorry, I'm watching something that's creeping out. I just watched a scene where they're doing the dinosaur dance thing, where they're doing this and that, and they're like throwing their heads like left to right. It was a goddamn nightmare. Oh my god, that shit! I don't know why that shit creeped me out, dude. I'm just seeing that. Oh yeah, but that reminds me. So they're in the club because they want to get Big Bertha and get the stone off of her, because they recognize that's who has it. The fucking lady who checks their hats or their coats and their belts goes and calls the cops because they're out on they're like America, they're the Dino Hatton's most wanted now. And you can get what before they called Koopa coins when the old lady tried to rob them, but now this paper is saying you can get 2,000 Koop-ons. And I'm like, did Will write these jokes? Like, is this starting to turn to like a real Will situation here? You know what? Fine, that's fine. It doesn't matter. We continue on, and they're in the club, and Mario's the one who has to seduce fucking Bertha to get the necklace off of her. But when you get introduced to her, there's she pushes a woman off to the side, and like she does them like she does very forcefully because she's a big lady. But this fucking extra that she tosses for her dancing, Tom, I shit you not, was this, okay? It was just right. That's all it is. And like when she gets tossed by Bertha, she gets hops like 3 feet, then looks over at Bertha, and she's still like still dancing, and then she pushes her again to be like, "Bitch, move!" Like, god damn.
Well, yeah. She's used to Bertha being in the club, right? I think that's the. Yeah. I think that's it. They're used to her just bullying everybody. Fucking
you just do what you normally do. Just don't mind Bertha. She beats the shit out of you.
Oh, be like Mario and take it.
Oh my god, dude. But yeah, speaking of that, Mario tries to seduce her just right away. Bertha's answer's just boom, straight to the face. Fucking done. Or so you think. You then find out that you find out Bob Hoskins has a serious kink for this. Because he gets right up and goes back to Bertha. Yeah, you know, hit me again. That felt good. Yeah. Do it again. Come on. Hit me. Like, that's what it looks like. It's like fucking the Joker when facing down Batman down the street and he's like, hit me. I want you to hit me. That's what it felt like. This amount of seduction that Mario is speaking towards Bertha, because now she's some sort of sadist and he's a masochist. Oh my god.
So for this scene, I believe I read somewhere that they had filmed a way more adult version with far more strippers.
Yeah.
And far more sexual content, but it all got cut out.
Yeah, like
for the most part. You see one stripper when you walk into the place, but that was it.
Yeah, John Leguizamo was saying that the production company or the production crew just hired a bunch of strippers for the dance club scene. Like the ones that are like hanging up on the poles and stuff, like those are real strippers. It's bananas. Okay, and speaking about like punching faces and whatever getting hurt, apparently Bob Hoskins at some point in the filming, doing a stunt or something, broke his pinky. And I've been trying to look for this when I watched it several times over. The compromise that they did is they just put like a pink glove on his hand to hide the broken finger.
Yeah, I never caught it. I was looking for it the whole movie. I guess he broke his finger during the van scene.
Yes, yeah.
When John Leguizamo was driving around, and it was actually John Leguizamo that broke his finger.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at it now, like during the dance scene of him trying to seduce Bertha and stuff, like he's got gloves on, so he's hiding it no matter what there. But I'm very curious, like I try to find it and I just don't understand it. But you know what?
It said that you can catch it in some scenes, but I was looking for it the whole movie and I didn't notice it.
Yeah, it was nuts. But the seduction continues where there's just literal humping between Bertha and Mario. Like he gets to her back and like they start doing like a wave, like a sexual and yeah, it's just really fucking weird. Anyways, he does end up getting the necklace and leaving Bertha on the dance floor looking real sad, and this is her redemption arc where she realizes being bad to others is bad and I shouldn't do that. Instead of being like, that yellow bitch stole my shit and like beating the crap out of her, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't know what he did to earn that, but for some reason it was fine.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking the Goombas arrive because the lady called on Mario and Luigi because she wants her coupons. And fucking to try to blend in and escape that fucking dinosaur dance that the people were doing, they're still doing it, and Mario and Luigi just try to creep through it while kind of dancing it. Oh my god, it was the stuff of dreams, dude. I fucking love it. And now, and now there's a moment here where they're playing like fucking catch between Mario and Luigi because the Goombas are trying to catch them with the necklace. It straight up feels like no, Alex, you don't need to watch this movie again. Don't worry about it. But this moment of them doing this reminded me of fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, where the last jar of TCRL or whatever it's called is being tossed around between the turtles and fucking the Foot Clan. Literally reminded me of that. Oh my god, it blew my mind. It was so fucking weird. But regardless, they're running around the club trying to figure out a way to survive now because they dropped the necklace, they lost it. They try to run to the front, and Coat Check Lady and fucking Bertha are at the door. But don't you worry no more, because Bertha's on the good guy's side and just knocks the fuck out of that goddamn Coat Check Lady. And their way of escape is to jump through windows wearing rocket boots? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's silly.
I wanted those boots so bad when I was a kid after watching this damn movie.
Dude, in my mind, the moon boots that we can get as kids was like as close as you can get. You remember those moon boots, that like thing that broke like kids' ankles all the time?
Yep. I remember those.
Stuff.
I love the old days.
Yep. But yeah, it's they end up running around and they get trapped on a fucking catwalk where you got normal people on the one side and Fireball throwing fucking Goombas who have reptile heads, like you know, gecko heads or whatever, instead of Goomba heads. But whatever. They fall into a burn truck and that's how they escape. And then they have to figure out a new way to rescue Daisy and fucking, what is it? Rescue Daisy and get the stone back. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You then further again, a little bit more progression of how bad and evil Koopa is. He gets into a chamber where you see a fucking royal chair and a giant anus with a piece of turd that's just prayer dogging for the whole movie. That's pretty much what that looked like to me. I don't know about you guys. Do you see it?
I didn't even think about that. And the fact that it's like slimy and oozing all the time makes it so much fucking worse. Gross.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's this you have to find out that's the king and his daughter is indeed Daisy and he's just threatening a giant testicle that's just balls deep in someone's ass. And it's weird, man. They get dumped into his Mario Brothers and they find their way into a service maintenance place. And finally, their idea, and they don't really touch on this ever again, but their idea to kind of get out and save everyone is by, and it makes sense with the science they had back then, but they would pretty much freeze out the entire city because all of the city's plumbing and cooling systems are down where they are. That doesn't even bother me. But they don't explain this, and it's smart. In theory, this will work because these guys are all cold-blooded animals, right? They're all lizards. They're reptiles. So freezing them out would put them to bed. Makes sense, right? Only problem, Tom, is that they never make reference to this ever again. It's only used one more time in the mattress scene. That's it.
That's it. How the fuck did they not use that as an actual plot point? Like, you had actual science backing something. Yeah. You started the fucking process of making it work, and then it was just a slide.
Yeah.
That's all you got out of it.
Yeah. The kids are too dumb. They're not going to understand this. We're not doing this. But we have the magic school bus. God damn the magic school bus. Yeah. It's just not worth it, right? It's unfortunate. But anyways, this is finally, after an hour and 6 minutes of this film, we finally get introduced to them finding a way to sneak around, but not really because they're dressing up as what these people think are plumbers, into the iconic Mario and Luigi outfits, except for one thing, they swap things around for some reason. They don't have overalls, they just have denim sleeves, a denim collar, and then a red shirt on top. Like it's basically the denim sleeves, and then they attach to a wife beater that's red and a wife beater that's green. That's all it is, Tom. And I'm like, you could have just kept it a green shirt with overalls, and that would have been fine. No. But it doesn't.
You just have to accept it. In this movie, you have to accept that they're not going to go traditional with any of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. But they got the hat right. Kind of.
Pretty well for one of them, right? But Luigi's got a normal baseball cap that's backwards because he's cool.
Yeah.
But regardless, we are now in this. They get their suits and they run away, and it's this fucking moment where, again, they never explain why this works. It's never explained to why Luigi had this idea or like this epiphany that these things are like this. It's never explained to anyone at any point. But what ends up by happening is that there's music playing in the elevator that they're in, and Goombas are coming in, and they need to find a way to escape and not get caught. all they do, Luigi, and he just starts swaying one of the Goombas back and forth to the rhythm of the music, and then gets everyone to start dancing. And then somehow, because they're dancing, they're able to jump out a hatch on the top and not to be seen. Tom,
They're maybe it's because their brains were shrunk more. They everyone likes music. That was their explanation. That's all. Everyone likes dancing.
It's just I don't, whatever. You know what? It happens. You know, maybe
that was the part you remember from as a child, though.
Yes, that is that scene. I remember that scene very vividly.
As a child, that is absolutely entertaining.
Oh my god! But yeah, you end up finding out that, you know, Iggy and Spike got captured, and Lena brings them over to Koopa, and they're like, "Oh, your siblings are just throwing out hot poetry and rap about, you know, how bad you are, because now they're good guys, and that's all you know." Koopa doesn't have time for this. He goes, and this is like the only scene of maybe what, like, him being more aggressive than he needs to be, I guess is the best way to describe it, is he goes and sends them off for execution. Now he doesn't have time for them to get them to die. Maybe that had something to do with the de-evolution thing. It doesn't matter. But Lena expresses how it's okay, they're together, and they're going to get this done. There's nothing to worry about. She then accuses him of not only caring about Daisy and that stone, not about them. Whatever. That's just them adding some unnecessary drama that's not really going to make any difference soon. Doesn't at all. You get met up with fucking a scene where Daisy is in the top chamber for fucking Koopa, and Toad's around. You know it's Toad, not because of the spiral on his head for the design. No. Because he has that stupid fucking harmonica again. And this is why we need to make sure that we had an harmonica when they gave it to him. The only Toad in the whole goddamn Toadiverse who has its own unique thing. Okay? It's just whatever. It's all I keep saying. Anyways, he leaves because she wants to eat vegetables and not that bullshit. Lena shows up into that apartment and pretty much wants to straight up shank Daisy because Koopa's obsessed. And if she's out of the picture, then she has nothing to worry about. We also, at some point, it's not even that important. Yeah, you get introduced to the Yoshi character. You find out that he's the family pet of the royal family, and without notice or any explanation of what kind of dinosaur he is, when Lena goes to attack and tries to kill Daisy, magically he's got his tongue. He has a tongue ability, something they haven't hinted on or showed at all. And again, this is a kids movie. The little dinosaur gets stabbed, like straight up shanked, and they don't hide from it. He gets stabbed like in the artery. Yoshi is dead, Tom.
He's not fucking dead.
Dead, and he's not coming back. That's just a dumpster Yoshi they found somewhere else, and we all know it.
So now there's just two randomly. We had one out in the dumpster out back. Now we're gonna kill off this one.
Oh my god.
Very sad moment though. Why? Why would you fucking stab Yoshi of all things? He licked you for like a second. Deal with it.
And that's the other thing in the film. This animatronic that they have, again, super well done. Some of the scenes are CGI'd. They did an amazing job, but I guess this is such a complex design, because there was like, I can't remember what the thing was, but like, we'll say 47 different kind of wiring in this robot, that it took like 9 to 7 puppeteers to work Yoshi out. And you see that dinosaur, and it's like, this could have belonged in Jurassic Park. Like, it's that well done.
Yep.
Like, oh my god,
surprisingly well done.
Yeah. But anyways, they get stabbed. Daisy's running away. Steamed vegetables. Toad is there. And you, again, are only supposed to feel something for this Toad when it gets set on fire by the other Goombas, because you know it's Toad. Why? Because of harmonica. Harmonica Toad.
Eddie's like friendlier than the rest.
Yes.
The other ones always seem kind of grumpy. Plus the snake-faced ones don't look fun. This one was like chill and smiling all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, like, honestly, a lot of it now just becomes kind of a chase scene. You find out that Spike and Iggy were actually, like, they were followers of her father, of Daisy's father, because they all met up in the hallway together when the brouhaha happened. And I guess that's why Koopa de-evolved them, to make them not as smart, to make them obedient slaves, because they were at one point servants of the king. That's when you get introduced that Daisy's part fungi, not a fun guy, but a fungi. And she meets the giant testicular tumor that is her father. And that is pretty much it. That's like the last time you see them in the movie. Yeah. I think it is. I think that's literally.
I guess I never thought about it, but yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. They get them to the giant anus and then they leave. They bolt out of there and that's it. But yeah, fucking the Mario Bros are running away into a shaft. I don't know why this is a joke. I don't understand anything about this, but Luigi decides to jump down a giant shaft, but somehow hooks himself on his belt onto a hook. It doesn't make sense. It is physically improbable that would happen. But
was he wearing the jump boots at that time? Because that was like way up in the fucking air.
Yeah, so theoretically they do have, or they may have dumped the jump boots when they swapped the outfits from the club outfits to the plumber ones. They didn't keep the boots, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they did.
Did they? Oh god damn. Then I don't know why. They ran out of charges, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless, what ends up happening here is he lies saying that he's flying, and Mario believes him. And so he goes to jump. I don't know. I don't know how fast I would have told my brother, dude, no, I'm joking, don't do this. But he lets Mario wind up and then run and jump. As he says, no, don't, I'm kidding. Why is that even a joke? Like,
he wasn't joking. He's just a dumbass and didn't realize he was hooked onto a crane. Somehow.
No, dude, no. I remember this. I remember the scene because he tells Mario, "Don't jump. I'm joking," because he knows that he's attached to the hook.
Oh, I always thought that he didn't notice that, and then felt it, and then he's like, "Oh, don't stop, I'm hooked."
No, it was a dumb joke that didn't work. That's
okay.
But yeah, fucking Daisy ends up by seeing these guys on a computer system, a security system that's in the throne with her dad, and she guides them out. While Koopa is watching it on his side. And this is the point where they split Mario up to go find all the Brooklyn girls that were stolen at the beginning, that were kidnapped. And this is the only reason why he is split, because they need to explain why Luigi and Daisy get captured by Koopa and his patrol. It is at this time that also Koopa finds out that Lena's not so nice. Because she took the stone for herself, but she had a chance to present it to Koopa, but she's going to merge dimensions together on her own for Koopa's sake. To prove to her that she's as powerful or whatever it is as Daisy. Again, it's a really weird story that they have. This is kind of
was her jealousy of Daisy was her biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, it's at this point, too, now that fucking Mario knows where all the Brooklyn gals, or the Brooklyn babes, I think is what the movie calls them, are found, gets them all together, and this is where we have the tunnel bobsled slide scene that is super fun and cheeky to look at, and, you know, there's some good gags where, like, they all duck from a bottom, from spikes in the ceiling, and when some of the Goombas get hit by it. You know, it's tongue-in-cheek fun. It's dumb.
Did you notice that there's one chick is holding a cigarette the entire fucking ride?
Yeah,
this is a kids movie.
Yeah, again, this is a '90s kids movie. But yeah, the Goombas go and they get stuck up. Mario gets sprung out through the fucking tunnel, and like Magic Carpet rides himself down in front of Koopa and everyone else. You find out that the whole idea, the whole plot, right, for this movie, and I'm going to gripe on this now, that Koopa wants to merge both worlds together so he can rule them all. Except for the fact that they made it sound like not everyone could cross over through that one portal that everyone else has crossed over from. Except Koopa can do it. Iggy and Spike can do it. Mario and Luigi can do it. Daisy can do it. And everyone can just jump through that portal and they could take over the city themselves that way. No, for some reason, it has to be this stone and like a little rock in the little fucking meteorite. And I just... I don't understand it. Because if Koopa's plan, because he wants a clean world, why would he merge disgusting Dino Hatton with this world? It just doesn't make any sense.
Because he still wanted his shit. He wanted his mud bath. He wanted his hand sanitizer wax dealy
Yeah, what the fuck
that
was
he
up with that
had.
too, by the way? What is that? Is that real? Is that
I
a
don't
thing?
know. At first, I thought, did he just dip his hands in like
Oh,
really
yeah,
hot wax?
right. I thought his
And then he wiped it off.
I was like, is he deep frying his hands right now? Like, what the fuck is going on? Is he
It
building
even
the
had
mold?
the sizzle.
Right? Fucking weird. But yeah, this is like the end game of the movie here, where like they all meet up together now because of the Brooklyn Babes. I'm falling apart tonight. Oh my god.
Alliteration.
But it's hard, man. So the Brooklyn Babs go skyrocketing down. They crash into all the Goombas that were around Koopa. Koopa has the gun and threatens everyone to give him what he wants. They don't know. Well, sorry. He doesn't know that Lena's at the meteor getting ready to do it herself and plant it in. Instead, they kind of play on, hint, like trying to like distract Koopa while Luigi gets the Brooklyn Babes out of there. And this is when we get introduced finally to the Bob-omb that we keep seeing in the movie. And
arguably the best part of the fucking movie.
It is amazing. It is amazing. But all it is, it's like this toy about yay big that is a crank and walk little design. And Mario puts it down, not like away from the grates, but like right before it. So pretty much ultimately two things would have happened. Either it would have fallen like it did, or it would have just gotten trapped on one of like the openings on the rail, like on the catwalk. Oh my god, dude! I saw that. I'm like, what is happening?
Fell down, blew up, and ended the movie right there.
Yeah.
Mario just sacrificed himself for the babes to leave,
which would set up a perfect revenge story for the sequel. That would have been it. Oh my god! But yeah, fucking Luigi takes all the girls back to the portal as Lena's trying to insert the rock inside of the rock into the rock. She finally does so, and it's this moment that reminds me of like fucking Star Wars, where it's fucking Palpatine just screaming "Unlimited power!" Like it literally had those vibes, dude. I laughed so hard when I saw that again, being able to make those connections. Ultimately, the fucking Daisy, when she did that, she stops the portal from like opening up because somehow that was sure. Because the rock is finally in. It's now the portal is no longer a thing. Everything's going to start merging together. Luigi and Daisy try to find a way to pry the stone out of the meteor to figure it out. And Mario's big plan for Koopa, who had the fucking fire gun, all right, his big plan for him to get him close enough to disarm his flamethrower was to let him bait him from believing that he had the stone in like with his shoelaces, and instead of just shooting Mario and ending it right there and then, Koopa walks right up to him, so then Mario can just go and stop the flamethrower. What? What? Whoa. Sure, whatever.
Maybe the stone was susceptible to fire. Not possible, but yeah. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, right. But they end up again transported away, and like a pretty cool and for the time advanced particle scene displacement in this film. You get introduced to the two towers. You get seen the twin towers in like so long is kind of very jarring, but it happens here. And Koopa and Mario show up inside of the test site, but the construction dig site, and you find out that Koopa's got this fucking gun, a Devo gun, and it hits Scapelli, whatever his name is, down to a monkey-sized being because he got de-evolved. Cool scene. I kind of liked it a lot. It's the secondary villain that was there for like 30 seconds gets his comeuppance. It's always fun to watch. But fun fact about those guns, those are actually just Nintendo or Super Nintendo light guns spray painted on.
That's the Super Scope.
That with the Super Scope, yeah. It's wild when I saw that. I'm like, oh goddamn, that's cool. But it ends up continuing where Mario now has to decide what the fuck he's gonna do because he's now sitting down in front of Koopa with a ray gun. Well, don't worry about it because Luigi and Luigi and Daisy finally get to remove the the rock out of it. But it's at this moment as well where I don't understand how this works, but Luigi gave him a little of mushroom for him to trust in the fungi, and somehow right before getting blasted by a ray gun to de-evolve him, the mushroom absorbs it or deflects it or something, and then Mario throws the mushroom like a frisbee at Koopa, which knocks his gun out of his hand. And I'm just sitting there at that point, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? I'm broken, Tom. I don't understand, because if it's a de-evolution gun, when it hits the mushroom, shouldn't the mushroom de-evolve into a puddle of nothing and still fuck up Mario? But if it's a super shroom, why? It's just, why did it get big? And then why was it?
My guess was that mushrooms used to be a lot larger way back, like thousands of years ago, and that's their devolved state.
You're putting a lot into this film, and thumbs up for you, man, because no way would I have tried to make that connection. It just broke.
That's the only thing I can think of. That's it. That's all I've got.
God. You know what else that all I can think about right now, Tom? Is the sponsor of our video today. And you know who that sponsor is, Tom? Ooh. It's us. We're our sponsor.
Oh. Hey,
this is just right. Yeah, yes. Just a reminder that this podcast is sponsored by us, Select Start Network. More specifically, our Patreon account at patreon.com/Select Start Network, where after this week's little hiccups of how to describe this, posting errors, this was supposed to be the start of us doing it live, specifically for our Patreon members. I decided after the little snafu of the writing, we decided to just go for the Saturday, Sunday free event stuff. But from now on, starting next weekend, both the SSN podcast and SNATM Live will be specifically on patreon.com/SelectStarNetwork. And if you want to watch that, it's super simple. You just have to go over, check out our perks, sign up to the, in Canadian dollars, it is the $15 mark, which will give you access to all live shows that are normally behind the Patreon gate. Live, uncut, unedited, but you will also get an ad-free video and audio form of this when it is released a day before general public. So, just to give you an idea of some of the perks you can get. Also, if you can't afford that, you got to go down a couple of levels. It's totally understandable. Not everyone has money. You can get a $10 or 10% off discount if you go to the $8 tier, and then you can just support us for a couple of bucks. $2 Canadian, $1.20 American. Go ahead, it's a coffee. You know, instead of giving it to the homeless guy, give it to the hungry Canadian over here. All right. But once again, all you got to do is go over to patreon.com/SelectStarNetwork and pick whichever way you can support us. Whether that is just socially, financially, it does not matter. We love you for it. Thank you very much. End of the ad read. I'm getting a little too much. I'm having too much fun with those now, but it doesn't matter. What I'm also having fun with is near the end of the goddamn movie here, because we're almost there. Pretty much all that happens now is after being almost struck by that de-evolution gun, they get transported back over because Luigi and Daisy, with a corkscrew, pulls the stone out. So everyone gets reverted back. Everyone who was in Dino World gets reverted back over to Dino World. And at that point, I thought, oh, maybe Mario and Luigi will stay because they're human, because they belong to that world. But it's just the idea of no.
I never even thought about that.
Right?
At all. Yep.
But you know what? Maybe it's just because they were in Dino World, so they got transported back to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's at this point where when being transported back, if I'm not mistaken, yes, Toad shows up and gives two Devo guns to Luigi because he's still a good guy, and they're about to get all fucked up. They're about to lose and die simply because they're all showing up on the catwalk and they have nothing left to live for. That's it. The Mario Bros are done for. The Mario Bros are done for. I can't. I don't have a thing there. I'm done. What happens though is Big Bertha gives a pair of shoes to Luigi while he's getting those shoes for the super jump. Toad saves the day and starts playing his harmonica, which then forces the Goombas to dance, which is really the only reason why you saw that scene earlier of the Goombas dancing in the elevator, was for that to make sense. That's it.
Yep.
No other explanation. Fucking, they're on the catwalk, they're fighting. Goomba blasts them, the fireball, go boop, dodge. Instead, one of the most horrifying things I've seen, even to this day, it actually is quite scary. Luigi and Mario are shooting Koopa with the Devo gun, and his face transforms into like Killer Croc. It literally looks like Killer Croc. It's the only explanation I can give it. Like, it is terrifying, and it is well fucking done. Well, as he's getting hit by the Devo gun, a fucking Bob-omb shows up underneath him, great, with Reebok's shoes. There was a Reebok's advertisement there. Sure, why not?
So random. For 2 seconds in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Reebok.
there's your ad, your little ad right there. Reebok and Dino World 2. Doesn't matter. Koopa gets blasted into the giant bucket, and then he comes out, and I was hoping when he comes out of the bucket, because he got hit with the Devo gun, that he was gonna straight up like look like Bowser, right? Maybe not without maybe not with the shell, but still look like badass Bowser, right? No, he looks like a weird, mushy, goopy puppet thing that they didn't have all the budget for. Because when they hit him again with the next level of the Devo gun, he looks more like a dinosaur and looks much, much better. And then he starts transforming around. And I think at one point, they take a jab at like Barney, because the dinosaur, when it transforms, has giant eyes and a big ass fucking mouth. Like it's smiling, like it was a human face. It was weird. It was terrifying. No, thank you. But ultimately, they hit him so much that he turns back into the primordial ooze. And another story plot moment that I don't understand, that I'm gonna need my smart people to explain to me. Okay, Tom, you're also smart, so you can try to explain this to me. All right, buddy. Fucking, they defeat Koopa. He turns into his most basic form, that ooze, right? Well, because he does that, the king reverts back to a normal, his fully evolved form. But no one else that got devolved does that.
There's no explanation for any of that.
And like
at all.
It's a throwaway thing where you see him transform back, and it's just a dude. He's like, the plumbers. I love those plumbers. And that's his only scene. Like,
yep.
They didn't need that. They could have saved themselves a couple $100,000, not done that. That's just.
Oh, no. that was like the coming around the circle. It's all good now. Yeah, the king's back. For 3 seconds, and we'll cut away.
Right? It's not like by him doing that, the rest of the fungus disappeared and like the clouds like cleared up and the Mushroom Kingdom became beautiful again. No, it's nothing like that. But whatever. It's, you know what? Again, knowing what happened to the script, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. If they did that, though, like did the sky opened up and everything, then it would actually make sense.
Right, yeah.
Most of this movie would kind of make sense then.
It'd be much more close to like the source material, like, because every time you beat the bad guy in those games, the cloud screws up and everything's a beautiful day. No, yep. Not what happens. Fucking Daisy and the rest of them try to run to the tunnel. They realize they can't go through the portal because the stone needs to be connected to it by now for some reasons. Whatever. Luigi and Mario cross over. Daisy gets left behind, and it's kind of a sappy, sad, fun ending, though, right? Yoshi comes up. Toad is still the giant Goomba freak. They all wave goodbye, and then we get brought back 3 weeks later into the Mario Bros apartment, where there's news articles about what happened, how these guys helped them out, and they're now called the Super Mario Brothers. And they're about to have their stereotypical Italian supper with spaghetti and sauce and meat and mamma mia. And motherfucking Daisy rolls in with fucking rocket packs or grenade packs and stuff. And Flamethrower's like, bitch, we gotta go. Shit's going crazy. And Mario's like, let's go, I believe. And then that's the end of the movie. That is goddamn. Also,
so this is Elseworlds Super Mario. Right? Has to be. Now it's got a post-apocalyptic ending to it. It's got to be something like that.
All right, Tom. Super Mario Bros. 1993. An impossible movie to buy unless apparently the only copies you can get that are Blu-ray are found in the UK. That's the only way you can get this, like an HD copy of this. I just want to read one thing here. That Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, left when this movie was made. He had said, "In the end, it was a very fun project. They put a lot of effort into, but also said the one thing that I still have some regrets about is that the movie may have tried to get a little too close to what the Mario Bros. Video games were, and in that sense, it became a movie that was about a video game." Rather than being an entertaining movie in and of itself.
Too close?
I don't know what this man is talking about. With all respect, okay? Miyamoto-san. You are also dead, so rest in peace. You're out of your fucking mind, bro! There's no way! In what acid trip dream did you, Mr. Miyamoto, picture this being too close to a story about a plumber going down pipes? Rescuing a princess.
Could you imagine that this is how he intended the game to be?
Oh my god! If that's what it is, then maybe he's the one who like made Doom. Maybe he was like the secret writer for Doom, because that's what he envisioned for Mario. Holy shit, dude!
He started with Mario and then just like, oh, let's put him on Doom. Let's hire him at ID software.
Shishi over there, he's getting a little too angry. We need to let him vent some stuff out. God.
Wow. Yeah.
Your final thoughts? What do you think about Super Mario Bros. 19?
If you come across it, watch it. Don't spend money on it unless it's like minimal dollars. It was good, but not Mario. So, like I said, Elseworlds, Super Mario. That's what it is.
Yeah. I think honestly, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure for me. This is one of my guilty pleasures. Like, I know it's a bad movie, and I know that it's a train wreck, but there's something about drunk Mario, right? Because Hoskins and a drunk Luigi, and like some of the scenes were fun, and like the music's bopping, the effects still are pretty good. And I'm not gonna say they hold up, but they're not bad. They're like really good. 1993.
Did you know Megadeth was on the fucking soundtrack for this?
What?
Breakpoint. I don't know the song very well, but Breakpoint, Queen, Tie Your Mother Down. I never heard that song.
Yeah, okay.
But apparently this is the soundtrack.
There's like one song that I recognize, it's like the dinosaur song you hear in the club. Like everybody do that dinosaur.
Love is the drug, yeah.
Yeah. Like that's about it. Yeah. And like and then apparently there was a song from the rock sets or whatever they're called in there. And I didn't fucking hear any of this shit. What is happening? But
yeah, you're too exposed to everything else going on in the movie. You couldn't even hear the fucking music.
Oh my god. But yeah, honestly, Tom, what would you buy, rent, or pass? You're saying this is like a rent or buy if it's cheap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's borderline pass. Renting it, I mean, it's not what you think it is. You know what I mean? It's not a Mario. It's not a Mario movie. And I'm going to try to be as objective as I can be and say it's a pass because it is a hot mess, but it's a hot mess that I fucking love. It's just Bob Hoskins.
It's a hot mess.
Yeah, like literally seeing this makes me want to go watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit because Bob Hoskins is amazing. I love such a good actor. But yeah, what's our we do out of 10s, right? So what would you give this out of 10? Honestly. Nostalgia filters off. What are you giving this?
Nostalgia filters off.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
No, honestly, I was thinking the same thing. It's a 3. It's honestly, it's not a good movie. It's hot garbage. It sucks because it's not clear what they were sent out to be, but it doesn't follow the source material. Almost nothing connects to the game. They're basically their only real connections is the characters' names and some iconic outfits. That's about it. It's just oh my god. But that is SNATM at the movies. We're SSN at the movies. That was Super Mario Bros. 1993. Tom, since we're continuing in the genre world of video game movies that we started, and we didn't even think about it. What movie are we doing next week?
We're gonna watch Postal. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it is a fucking stupid movie.
Okay, I will advisory right now. That movie is not for kids. It is
No.
It is super offensive. It is like the most childish humor you can ever just know that this does not represent us.
Yeah.
Okay?
No.
This
No.
is we're gonna destroy this fucking movie, okay? Don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
We're watching Postal next week. I'm gonna watch along. You go ahead and try to find that wherever you can. I might even, depending how things go, I might have a movie night where we're all gonna sit down and watch it in Discord. Be warned. Be warned. Be warned. But for now, thank you so much for. I love y'all. I've been Justin Larcher for you guys. That's Tom down there. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.